Shalom, brothers of Great Millstone Chicago, coming with another lesson through the Spirit. First and foremost, all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and salutations to all you Achim who preaching the gospel in truth and in sincerity and in charity. And we're just gonna get a quick lesson. The Spirit hopped on us. These scoffers, these false teachers, they gonna try each and every way to shut up the kingdom of heaven from those that seeking it, which that's scriptural. The wicked Pharisees and Sadducees during the time of Yahweh Shai, they would teach and say certain things, that would mislead, guys who were seeking, which is all set up through the Spirit anyway. It's all through, Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai, if you get taken by that madness. But anyway, we're just going to go through a quick lesson, Lord willing, is edifying, about we are commanded to go out to the highways and hedges. Because now you got guys teaching that it's not commanded to go out there and teach. No, man, if your spirit is compelled within you to go out there, man, you must needs be out there. So the first scripture we grab, can the brother grab Luke 14 and verse 16?
This is Luke chapter 14, verse 16. It says, Then said he unto him, a certain man made a great supper, and bade many, and sent his servant at supper time to say to them that were bidden, Come, for all things are now ready. And they all with one consent began to make a excuse. The first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground, and I must needs go and see it. I pray thee, have me excused. And another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I go to prove them. I pray thee, have me excused. And another said, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come.
So pretty much all these guys making an excuse of why they couldn't do the work, man. All these guys made an excuse of why they couldn't do what was asked of them. Because it said he bade many. He bade many, meaning he called many. You heard, bro?
So
because we're all called into this thing to do a job, man. As the scripture says, many are called, but only few are chosen. Those ones that's chosen are going to give diligence to make their calling and election sure. They're not going to get caught up in these worldly affairs. The scriptures tell you that, not to get caught up with the affairs of this world. We'll go ahead, bro.
So that servant came and showed his lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant, Go out quickly into the streets and lanes of the city, and bring in hither the poor, and the maimed, and the halt, and the blind. And the servant said,
exactly, the maimed, the halt, and the blind. And who is that talking about? That's talking about the children of Israel. According to Isaiah, the 1st chapter, man, we're full of putrefying sores, man. We're all fucked up. Isaiah says, who was blind but my servant?
Just when they get before you go there, you go. That's good.
So Israel is the blind. Israel is the maimed. We are the ones that are halted. Spiritually.
Right. And also, the Lord said He chose the base things of the world, to confound the wise. Because at that time, everybody that made excuses is really going to the wicked of the Pharisees, man. The chief of Israel, man. They was worried about this world, worried about the status they had with the Romans, the position they had in the world, man. So that goes into the people making excuses, them that's got too many cares of the world. Right?
The guys that's comfortable on this side, man. The guys that are not warning go ahead.
Yeah.
Verse 22. And the servant said, Lord, it is done as thou hast commanded.
As he has did what?
As thou hast commanded.
And so he commanded them to go out into the highways and hedges to do that, right? Can you start at 21 again so we can hear this again, Baba Kashan?
Verse 21. So that servant came and showed his lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant, Go out quickly into the streets and lanes of the city, and bring in hither the poor, and the maimed, and the halt, and the blind.
So he told them to go out into the streets and lanes of the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And the servant said, Lord, it is done as thou hast commanded, and yet there is room.
So the servant came back and said, Lord, I did what thou hast commanded me to do. What did he command him to do? To hit the streets and lanes of the city. Shit, right there, we get in the lesson, Shalom, you know. Because right there is clear we are commanded to go into the highways and hedges. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 23.
Salakia, real quick. Deuteronomy 6, Baba Bashar. Let's manage.
What you want, fellas?
Yeah, no, start the whole section. Yeah, that whole little section.
This is Deuteronomy 6 and verse 4. It says, Hear, O Israel, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, our power is one Lord, is one power, Yahweh.
This is the law. These are the commandments. Go ahead.
And thou shalt love Yahweh thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I commanded thee this day shall be in thy heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way.
There you go. Diligently, man. So even in the law, we are commanded to go teach these things, man. When you in the crib, you're supposed to deal. When you out and about, man, you're supposed to teach these things, man. All right? And you got a talent. You ain't no way in hell you take your talent and squander it away, man. You fucking had it. We always been commanded to teach and tell the people these things, man. That's the law right there.
Yep. It says,
So whether you just a brother that's, say you a great speaker and you go out there and you teach, all right, or if you just say you're not that well of a speaker, man. Hey, guess what you're still gonna do? Try to wake up children of Israel to their heritage, man. You want to put your user that penny to at least to the exchanges, man, so it can be gain some usury.
that's right.
So it gain some interest, man. You need to be doing something for the body of Yahweh Shai.
Mm-hmm.
All right? You need to be spreading this, man. Not just in your crib. It says when you go out in the way, too, man.
Right. You know, because it's different parts of the body, like the brother explained, you know. Apostles, prophets, evangelists, teachers, you know, helps, you know, diversities of tongues, you know. So everybody, a lot ain't going to be out there to be on the highways and hedges, but like the brother said, you got to be doing something to further this truth, you know, to help spread the word, or to help financially, whatever the spirit. Hey, you got to find your lot within this thing, you know. You got to pray and ask Yahweh Sham Yahushai to help you figure out what he got planned for you, you know. But the statement I made at the beginning of this lesson. But if the spirit is on you and compelling you to teach, you got to be out there, man. You know, if you're compelled to, hey man, I got to learn this knowledge, man. I got to show forth the deeds to my people, man, and show them what's the right way. Well, then you need to be out there on the highways and hedges, man. You need to report to, if you're within the city that has a camp, report to that camp, you know. But finish this up. It says, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thy eyes.
Even if you feel like you just a help, guess what you're gonna do? You're still gonna try to spread this word somehow, man.
That's right.
At least like, yeah, man, we the Israelites, you still gonna be out there teaching. Ain't no getting around it, man. No way hell you learn this beautiful knowledge, man, you just hide it. You're not finna tell nobody, man. You're not finna try to explain this to nobody. That's you wicked motherfuckers, man. Yeah, you ain't gotta come and work and do the labors. Faith is enough, man. That's madness.
Go ahead, brother, back in that loop.
This is Luke chapter 14, verse 23. And the Lord said unto the servant, Go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. For I say unto you that none of those men which were bidden shall taste of my supper.
Exactly. You know. So it said, the Lord said, go into the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, which goes back to Ezekiel, the 2nd chapter. You know, the Lord said, go into the house of Israel and speak with them, speak my words unto them. The key thing he said is whether they hear or whether they forbear. So we out there to tell you, wait, whether you like it or not, whether you're going to receive it or not. You know, we out there to tell you your judgment. And on top of that, can the brother get Jeremiah 1 and 5? And then we can just, you know, hit whatever scriptures, you know, the spirit, you know.
I got it already.
Go ahead, bro.
It's Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. It says, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
Right, a prophet's job is to, a prophet means to say before. So the prophet's job is to go to warn the people of what's to come. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman to the house of Israel. You know, when you see the sword come, you blow the trumpet and give them the warning. Isaiah 58 and 1 says, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like the trumpet. So we are out there blowing the trumpet. Us as the watchmen, us as the prophets. You know, us as those servants who are bidding the maimed, the halt, and the blind to come into the marriage, man. Come be healed, you know. You hear, bro?
It says, And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Then said I.
That's the point. That's the point. I have ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. You know, because the Lord said in it's in the gospel. I don't want to specify a book, but it's in the gospel. Yahushua said that this gospel shall be preached unto every nation. Why should it be preached unto every nation? Because hey, we don't know who's an Israelite or not. You know, since the enemy came in and sowed tares among the wheat, and we mingled in, and we've been scattered to the four corners. So therefore, man, we go out to the chief place of concourse and we prophesy, man. We are made a prophet not only to Israel but unto the nations, man. We are to tell the Edomites they future, the rest of these heathens what's coming to them, that they finna serve slavery, you know, for what they did unto us, and to wake up the elect of Israel, man, who are going to look like different nations, man. So how can you do all that in the comfort of your home? You know, you have to be on the highways and the hedges as we are commanded to do so. So, you know, we can just go through the scriptures and get a couple examples and a couple scriptures where it clearly tells us to be out there on the highways and hedges, man. Because Proverbs 10 says, how can they hear except one be sent? Sent where? To the comfort of your goddamn home? The word apostle itself means sent away, man. They were sent out, man. Go ahead, bro.
It's Song of Solomon 3, and I'm gonna go down a little bit. So by night on my bed I sought him whom my soul loveth. I sought him, but I found him not. I will rise now and go about the city in the streets, and in the broad ways I will seek him whom my soul loveth. I sought him, but I found him not. The watchmen that go about the city found me, to whom I said, saw ye him whom my soul loveth? And that's the whole point, is that it's really important for us to go out on the highways and the byways, because you got people out here who are actually looking for the truth, man. You know, they're watching videos, they're looking for markings on buildings, they're looking for landmarks and identification places, so they can find you on the highways and the byways, man. So it's important that you kind of stay in the same spot for a little while, you know, so people get used to you seeing, you to see you be there, you know, because we got people who are earnestly looking for this truth, man. You know, ain't nobody gonna know you're a prophet of the Lord if you're sitting in their damn house, man.
That was it on that?
Okay.
This is Matt Mathieu quoted. This is Proverbs 8, 1. Doth not wisdom cry, and understanding put forth her voice? She standeth in the top of high places, by the way in the places of the paths. She cried at the gates, at the entry of the city, at the coming in, to the doors. Unto you, O men, I called, and my voice is to the sons of men.
Mm-hmm. So it's in the chief place of concourse, man. Brother can grab that, Proverbs 1.
You quoted the first chapter, right. But the point is, wisdom is out there. I got it.
That's right.
verse 1 and 20. Wisdom cried out, she uttered her voice in the streets. She cried in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttered her words, saying. So that's what the prophets go and teach at, man. How you going to reach the people if you inside the crib, man? Like the brothers quoted, man, how would they hear unless they a preacher was sent, man?
Yep. And the word preacher goes back to prophet, man. It's all one and the same.
I got another one. This is Ezekiel 12 and verse. I'm gonna start. Get the Romans 15:4 real quick. You know, just gonna be an example that we ought to be out there, man. In Hosea 12, the Lord said He's spoken by His prophets in similitude, man. All right, being out there, performing His word, acting things out, man. Like Isaiah had to walk around naked in front of the people, and then explain to them what that meant. You gotta be before the people. Go ahead, I can read that.
Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Right, written for our learning. So here's an example, man. Ezekiel 12, I'm going to read and then just skip through it. Ezekiel 12 and I'm going to start at the top and go through it. The word of Yahweh also came unto me, saying, Son of man, thou dwellest in the midst of a rebellious house, which have eyes to see and see not, they have ears to hear and hear not, for they are a rebellious house. Therefore, thou son of man, prepare these stuff for removing, and remove by day in their sight, and thou shalt move from thy place to another place in their sight. Mm-hmm. It may be they will consider, though they be a rebellious house. So we are set out there to bear witness for Yahweh Shai and correct these people, man. That's why Ezekiel the 3rd chapter said He has made our head as hard as flint against their hard head, man. You got to be on the defense of the gospel. How you going to do that in your fucking crib, man? Mm-hmm. How you going to reach the people? How you going to condemn these heathens? How you going to prophesy about the downfall of this place, man? You got to hit the streets. So I'm going to just skip down to verse 11. Say, I am your sign, like as I have done, so shall it be done unto them. They shall move and go into captivity. We are that sign, man. We're set out to be before the people, man. All right? You know, we were set up, and that's why He said the apostles were set up last as unto death, man. To be a gazing stock. We got to be out before the people. I got one more quick. This is Jeremiah 11. I'm going to start at 2 and skip down. Hear ye the words of this covenant, and speak unto the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Skip it down to verse 6. Then Yahweh said unto me, proclaim all these words in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, saying, hear ye these words of this covenant and do them. So how you gonna deliver this message to the people? Matthew 10 and 6. As ye go, say the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So we got to go through these cities, man. We got to go out and hit these streets and let the people know that we're the Israelites. Yahweh Shai's on his way back. Esau, the so-called white man, the Caucasians, are the fucking devil. Okay? Repent and get right. We got to go before the people and do these things.
I got one. This is This is Nehemiah 8. I'm gonna start at the top. It says, and all the people gathered themselves together as one man into the street, keyword street, that was before the water gate, and they spake unto Ezra the scribe to bring the book of the law of Moses, which Yahweh had commanded to Israel. And Ezra the priest brought the law before the congregation, both of men and women, and all that could hear with understanding, upon the first day of the 7th month. And he read therein before the street that was before the water gate from the morning until midday, before the men and the women and those that could understand, and the ears of all the people were attentive unto the book of the law. And Ezra the scribe stood upon a pulpit of wood which they had made for the purpose, and beside him stood Mattathiah and Shema and Ananiah and Uriah and Hilkiah and Messiah on his right hand, and on his left hand Pedaiah and Mishael and Micaiah and Hashum and Hashbadana, Zechariah and Meshullam stood on his left. So when you see us out there prophesying, man, you see a brother in the middle, you see two readers on the side, and the other brothers holding posts. You know, Romans, can we hit that? Yeah, you already read it?
Okay.
Can you reread it again?
Romans 15:4.
Shit, I didn't even hear it. Shit.
Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Exactly, man. So whatsoever written aforetime are written for our learning, right? So back in Nehemiah 8, verse 5, and Ezra opened the book in the sight of all the people, for he was above all the people, and when he opened it, all the people stood up. And Ezra blessed Yahweh, the great power, and all the people answered, Amen, Amen, with lifting up their hands, and they bowed their heads and worshiped Yahweh with their faces to the ground. It says, and Joshua and Benai and Shabiah, Jamin, Akub, Shabbathiah, Hadajiah, Maaseiah, Kalita, Azariah, Josabad, Hanan, Peliah, and the Levites caused the people to understand the law, and the people stood in their place. So they read in the book in the law of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua distinctly, and gave the sense and caused them to understand the reading. And that's the same thing we do. You know, when we out there, we teach and we read out of the book of the law, and whoever come up, whether they hear or forbear, we cause them to understand the writing, man. We tell them the things that are written. We make it plain upon tables, man. That's what the prophets are meant to do. That's what the priests are meant to do, man, to interpretate it, to give you the understanding of it. To show the people their transgressions, man, so they can turn, so they can repent, so they can come into this wedding feast. I also got Salakia. I also had. Let me get it back.
I got one flavor quick. This is Malachi 2:7 is what you said. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and should seek the law at his mouth. For he is the messenger of Yahweh host. So if the people are seeking the law from our mouths, man, how they gonna do it if you in the crib, man? If you're not out there teaching the people. Once you get this knowledge, you don't have to tell. You gotta go out there and let that light shine. Okay? Because that's how people gonna learn. That's how people get understanding. So we do gotta hit the streets, and men do teach and give understanding, man.
Okay. You still got that, man?
Go ahead, bro.
Proverbs 6 and 15. I'm gonna go down to 16. Drink waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets. You know, that's the whole thing, man. You know, that we gotta let this. Like the brother was saying about not hiding your talents, okay, but to disperse them, and not only to disperse them, but to disperse them wide, man. You know, like the brother was saying, according to Deuteronomy, man, everywhere we go, the truth should be leaking out you, man. You know, it should be pouring out because the streets desire it. Got one more to back that up. That was in Isaiah 24:11. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened, the mirth of the land is gone. And the point being, man, that our streets do languish, all right, because they need this they need this truth. They need the prophets out there to bring them back to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man.
And it's a beautiful scripture that you just read, because it says, and there shall be a cry for wine in the streets. So when everything crack, when that famine of the word come, the people gonna be what? Seeking the prophets on the streets, man. Because that's where it's at. You know? Yeah, they say they're gonna come search the house. Why is it gonna be a cry for wine in the streets? Because that's where the wisdom was crying out, man. It's gonna be on the streets where we are commanded to go. This is
I have freeze up for you.
Go ahead, bro.
I mean, when you're done with yours.
Go ahead with yours.
Okay, well, this is at Jeremiah 5, verse 1. It says, run ye to and fro through the streets of Jerusalem.
And it's a people before it's a place. When you read Maccabees, you know, he chose the people. He chose not the people for the place sake, but the place for the people's sake. So Jerusalem is the people first and foremost.
It says, and see now, and know, and seek in the broad places thereof.
Even broad places, man, so you got to hit them streets. It's a search, man. Go ahead.
If ye can find a man, if there be any that executed judgment, that seeketh the truth, and I will pardon it. See, I mean, people gonna be seeking the truth, so technically, really, when they're seeking the truth, they may go from this place to that place, from this place to that place, but when they travel and they find the truth, they're gonna find the truth outside with the men of the Lord teaching it, man.
That Song of Solomon.
Can you hit that, brother?
The Ezekiel,
Yeah, it precept the brother perfectly.
Ezekiel 9:4. And Yahweh said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry.
Those men that sighing that crying, man. Read that Jeremiah 5:1 again.
It's Jeremiah 5:1. Run ye to and fro through the streets of Jerusalem, and see now, and know, and seek in the broad places thereof, if ye can find a man, if there be any that executed judgment, that seeketh the truth.
That seeketh the truth. That sighing and crying, man, for the abominations that are done in here. Go ahead.
And I will pardon it.
And the Lord will pardon it. Go read that Ezekiel 9.
So the Yahweh said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry.
And the Lord said in Jeremiah 5, I will pardon it. That mark that's being placed on their foreheads is the Hebrew word tawah, which means exempt from judgment. The Lord will pardon it, man. So how do you find that, man? You got to be out on the highways and edges. You got to bid them to the marriage. Can you get Matthew 22?
I got it already.
Oh, shit. No, I can already hold it.
Matthew 22:9. Oh, shit. Matthew 22:9 and 7. Then said he to his servants, The wedding is ready. It's like verse 8. Then said he to his servants, The wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage.
Yep.
So those servants went out to the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good.
Both bad and good. Both bad and good. I had a point to make on that, but both bad and good, but I forgot it. It slipped my
The
mind.
scripture in the houses is both vessels of gold and then vessels of wood, man. So when you grab the bad and good, we going ahead and gather whoever's listening and receiving it. Many are called, few are chosen, man. You know, that's why you got to strive and work, man. You say you got faith without works. I'll show you my faith by my works, man. You got labor to do, man. So we can hope, so we can make our calling and election sure, as it says in Peter, man. So we can be that good fruit, man, the good that was gathered, man, not the bad. Those are going to have their talent, okay? Because they received the talent, the Lord chose them. So they was called and gathered, man. But they didn't use that talent, man. They was the bad. They're going to be cast away. As a net, pull a damn fish, some clean, some bad, man. You know, so we got to labor and be humble and hope to be the good. Hopefully I covered it. Spirit. Good and bad, and the wedding was furnished with guests. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw that a man which had not on a wedding garment.
Mm-hmm. Which means he didn't prepare himself. He was called, but he didn't give diligence to make his calling and his election, his chosenship sure, man.
That's right.
Because the scripture says many are called, but few are chosen. Those few are going to give that diligence. They're going to give, they're going to fight. They're going to strive, man. You heard me?
And he said unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither? And having a wedding garment, he was speechless. Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. Hey, with him not having that garment, because he didn't use that talent, he didn't labor. Said him that have shall be given, him that have not, even that which he had shall be taken away.
That's right.
You know, so you gotta labor, man. He that watereth himself. Salakia, no. The liberal soul shall be made fat. He that watereth himself. So you gotta be dealing, man. You gotta be pumping this truth to even increase. So if you are that guy that's got one talent, you just to help. When you start teaching this word and dealing more, you will be increased. Because that's how the Spirit of the Lord works, man. If any man lacketh wisdom, let him pray to the Father of lights. Right?
That's pray to the Father that giveth liberally.
Right, Salakia. The Father that giveth liberty. I put two scriptures together.
Hey, because obviously this dude was called. He was there.
Yep.
You know?
He hit that talent. He put that light under the damn bushel. Burned your damn. You put the light under the damn bushel, you gonna burn the damn bush up, man. You burned yourself up.
Having the candle.
The same guy that made an excuse. You know what? You ain't gotta go out to the highways and byways. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
get my hair lined up.
Yeah, man, the same guy. But then when it comes, when Judgment Day comes, then you gonna be there thinking you gonna receive that salvation, man. No, what do y'all shall say, man? Hey, I have not knew you, man.
You work of iniquity. Then said the king to the servants, bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth, for many are called, but few are chosen.
Yep. Hey,
You better labor, man. Get your ass out there, man.
yeah.
Off your ass on your feet.
I got a precept. This is John chapter 18, verse 20. It says, Yahushua answered him, and Yahushua answered him, says, I spake openly to the world. I have been taught in the synagogue, and in the temple where the Jews always resort, and in secret I have said nothing. So Yahushua himself, he even spoke openly outside to the people, man. When he was preaching, he spoke in the highways and the byways, man. So why can't you do the same?
Right, he had the sermon on the mount. He had the sermon at the seaside, basically, on the boat. He was always outside, man. How you gonna reach the people? That's how you reach the masses.
Isaiah 18:3. All ye inhabitants of the world and dwellers on the earth, see ye, when he lifted up an ensign on the mountains, when he blow off a trumpet, hear ye. Let's talk about the men of the Lord being on the highways and the byways, man, teaching this truth. All right, because the ensign is us out there being a mark, all right, being a sacrifice, all right, and who we here for? We're here for the nation of Israel, man. But yet, like the brother was saying earlier, all the scriptures say it's also to declare judgment to these damn heathens, man. Mm-hmm. The scriptures talk about hear ye, hear who? Hear the men of the Lord. Like the brother brought out earlier about Amos 3 and 7, man. You know?
This is 1 Samuel 10 and 10. And when they came thither to the hill, behold, a company of prophets met him. And the Spirit of Yahweh came upon him, and he prophesied among them. And it came to pass, when all that knew him before time saw that, behold, he prophesied among the prophets, then the people said one to another, what is this that is come unto the son of Kish? Is Saul also among the prophets? So they seen the prophet standing out there, man. He said he came past the hill, and the prophets met him, meaning the prophets was outside. And then all the people that walked past and see Saul prophesying was like, hold on, what's Saul doing with the prophets? Is he one of the prophets now? So they mean that they were out in the highways and hedges, man. They were out in the chief place of concourse, man. Always, Romans 15 and 4, the things that are written aforetime. What did it say in Genesis? When Adam went off, man, they said the voice of the Lord was walking through the garden in the cool of the day, man. They was outside, man.
Shit, the prophets of old did a lot of traveling, man. Like you read about Elijah and Elisha, they went up to different cities to deal with different kings, to deal with different stuff, man.
Brother can grab, fuck, it was just in my mind. Fuck, it was just in my mind. Ezekiel 33.
Ezekiel 33. 33 and 7.
Isaiah 62. Son of Man, 62 and 8. I think it is. I've made thee a watchman into the house of Israel. You start to, go ahead, bro.
Ezekiel 33 and 6. Said, but the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned.
Start up. Verse 2.
Ezekiel 33 and 2. Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, the people of the land take a man of their coast, and set him for their watchman. If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he will blow the trumpet, and warn the people.
No, it says, "Son of man, if the children of Israel take a prophet and or a man and set them up as a watchman." You know, but go to Ezekiel 3:17 real fast, and then jump back.
Ezekiel 3:17. Son of man, I made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word of my mouth, and give them warning from me.
So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai has made us watchmen unto the house of Israel. Now we hear the word of the Lord's mouth, and we give them warning from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. How can you do that in the comfort of your home? How can you do that? Oh, no, we out here just teaching because we love it. We like to, you know, we wasn't never commanded to come out here and teach. Well, what is that saying? I have made thee a watchman. All these scriptures is clearly saying that we are ordered, we are commanded to do what we doing, man. Keep on, bro.
This is verse
Back to 33.
Yeah, come. Ezekiel 33:3. If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he bloweth.
How can you see the sword coming? It was by chilling in your house, not doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Just laying back, cooling. You know, not giving diligence. You know, because in order to see the sword coming, man, you got to be occupied in the prophecies of these scriptures, which that's what a prophet is going to do. And then he's going to link the things that's happening today through the scriptures, man. Seeing the things that's going on with Iran and Russia and China, you know, the things that's going on with the fucking EU, how they going against each other and trying to leave, and everything is happening, man, according to as the scripture said. Go ahead, bro.
Said, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet.
How they gonna hear it? How they gonna hear the trumpet blown? In the ancient world, because we just read Romans 15, we look at the things. Can you get Job 8:8?
Okay.
And Jeremiah 6:16? Because here it is, we looking at the ancient world, and we're supposed to model ourselves after what was going on through the ancient world. So if us preaching is symbolic of blowing a trumpet, who the fuck blows the trumpet in the comfort of their house? Like that don't make sense, man. Go ahead, bro.
This is Job chapter 8. You say 8 and 8?
Mm-hmm.
It says, For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers.
Inquire of the former age and prepare thyself for the search of our fathers, man, our forefathers, man, our righteous forefathers, and how they conducted it and carried themselves, man. The things that are written aforetime are written for our learning. So we look at the prophets of old and see how they did things, and we ought to follow the same examples that they did. You get that, brother?
In Jeremiah 6 and 15. That's like 6 and 16. Thus saith Yahweh, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths.
And ask for the old paths, man. The paths that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob walked. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Elijah, Paul, Peter. Ultimately, Yahushua, because he's the one that paved that way, man. Go ahead.
It said, where is the good way, and walk therein?
Where is the good way, and walk therein? Go ahead.
Ye shall find rest for your souls.
And ye shall find rest for your souls. Keep going.
But they said we would not walk therein.
But 2/3 of our people, the Idumea and Hamites, said they will not walk therein. Keep going.
Also I said, watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet.
Mm-hmm.
But they said we will not hearken.
And it's all throughout Jeremiah. Was they coming to Jeremiah's house to scoff him and everything? No, man. Jeremiah came out to them and cursed them to their face, man. No, you doing this wrong, you doing that wrong. And if you don't listen, well, hey, I pray the truth come get your ass, man. I pray you die. Let your widows die and your children be bereaved. You know, Jeremiah 18 when he cursed all their ass, man. He was out in the highways and hedges, you know. He was out where the people could access him easily, man. Just like today. People can access us easily, man. Go right out there and come get your questions answered.
This was the song.
You know? The brother just read in Micah, man, they shall seek the lips at the knowledge of the priest, man.
See the law of the priest's lips.
The water.
I got you. I had you. I understood. I'm probably butchering it too, but
The
you
water.
gotta seek the law of the priest's lips.
God.
You gotta be out there before the people. And then, if you feel like you're not a prophet, put your talent to the exchanges so it can increase and get some usury, man. Come out there, hold a sign. Break bread with the brothers. Through the spirit of Hashem Yahushua, you will be increased. Because him that lack anything, let him pray. Wavering not.
Yep. How do you become a friend of the prophet? First, you got to know the prophets. How do you get to know the prophets, man? Hey, you got to go out there and deal with them, man.
Oh, another thing. Another quick point. In that Nehemiah, you had the priests out there, but then you had the people, Israel, come and listen. So you got to be out there, man. You need to come listen. All right? You need to, and then once you're built up, you need to be teaching. So you need to become the listener, you need to become to teach. Depending on where your level at, man. However you look at it, you got to be out there. We don't be out there as long as they was Nehemiah, man.
Yeah.
He said they was out there, man.
In the rain.
It's a damn shame. We don't do it actually. I'm laugh, but shit. We should be out there.
I got a scripture the brother here asked me to grab from. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. It says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him."
Right, so how you gonna be getting afflicted and being bold if you're in the comfort of your own house, man? How you gonna be in the face of your enemies and you inside of your goddamn cottage, man? All right, how you gonna make yourself a sacrifice, right? And you out there under the cover of your fucking sanctuary of your home, man?
Right. How you gonna preach this knowledge in convenience or out of convenience? You know what I'm saying? Where it says, I'll probably just butcher that too, but in season, out of season. You know? It means what's convenient and what's inconvenient, man. It's the same thing. Cause shit, man, when it's snowing, when it's a foot of fucking snow outside, man, that's an inconvenience. But we still gonna be outside preaching this word. When it's raining like a motherfucker out there, it's a thunderstorm, like it was last week, it was raining. That was inconvenient. That was out of season. But we were still out there, man. Be instant in season, out of season, man.
Right, and it's real in season when you're in your crib, man. You can chill, take your time, do what the fuck you want to do. Pause the camera, pause the footage. Go fuck around with your woman, do all type of weird shit, man. Get around till you want to. Nah, man. You gotta go out there before the people. Israel has to be, you got running to and fro through the streets of Jerusalem. Salaki.
That's right. I'm holding Proverbs 9, I'm starting at the top. It says, "Wisdom hath builded her house, she hath hewn out her 7 pillars. She hath killed her beasts, she hath mingled her wine, she hath also furnished her table," which is we eating right now, man. Which is this knowledge that we're taking in. Verse 3, "She hath sent forth her maidens. She crieth upon the highest places of the city." The maidens, man, are those watchmen. You know who are out there crying out, man. She crieth upon the highest places of the city, man, the chief places of concourse. You know? So the maidens, those prophets are going to be out there prophesying, man. Any way you look at it, you got to be out there on the highways and hedges, man. We are commanded to be out there, man. It is a commandment. You got guys saying, where is that in scriptures, man? It's all throughout the scriptures. Go ahead, brothers. Anything y'all got?
This is, Jeremiah 26 and 26 and 4. "And thou shalt say unto them, thus saith Yahweh, if you will not hearken to me, to walk in my law, which I have set before you, to hearken to the words of my servants, the prophets, whom I sent unto you, both rising up early and sending them, but ye have not hearkened." All right, so the prophets been around since the Garden of Eden. All right, all through the scriptures, even into the to modern time now, man. The Most High has been sending the prophets the whole time, man. All right, they've always been out on the highways and the byways. They've always been that voice. They've always been that trumpet. Okay, but you haven't hearkened, man. All right, you pipe, you pipe, but you haven't danced.
Okay, can you get that? Because that's beautiful that you said that. Because it says we are like children that stand in the marketplaces, man. That's the chief place. That's the agora. That's where we at.
I got you real quick while you're getting that. This is Acts 17. Spirit said it to let me know in the right time, but I've been holding this for a long time. This is Acts 17. Oh, whoa. Acts 17. Basically, there's so many words. Therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews. I'm going to start up. 16. Now while Paul waited for them at Athens, the Spirit was stirred in him when he saw the city wholly given to idolatry. Therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews and with the devout persons, and in the market daily with them that met him. And that word market, agora, public place of debate. Which is it's a marketplace, but that's where you will have your debates at, man. Like when you read, it's either Proverbs 31 or it's in Sirach when it talks about the man sitting at the gates with the wise men sitting at the gates, man. That's what we would do in the ancient world. That's our custom. We did these things outside before the people, man. Alright, not at the barber shop. That's a new nigger custom, man, as they do their debates at. We do our debates out in the streets, man. In the market. Where the people is at. Hey, so it's like verse 16, if you love your people Israel so much, and you see that this is a fucking place of darkness, you'll be out there trying to wake their ass up. That's what Paul did. His spirit got stirred in him. That's why he did it willingly. But for the record, you finna get the scripture?
I get it.
I ain't gonna butcher it. Because I was showing that stutter going, you trying to catch the spirit. Well, that's that butcher coming.
This is 1 Corinthians 9. I started 16. It says, 1 Corinthians 9:16, it says, for though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of, for necessity is laid upon me.
So we have to do this, man. All right, necessity. We need to do it. Not just, oh, I want to.
It's necessary.
Go ahead.
It says, yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel.
Destruction if I don't do it, man. Death unto me if I don't go preach this. Death, hey, he that have even shall be given. Him that have not, even that which he has shall be taken away.
Yep.
You gotta do his work.
Yep. It says, for if I do this thing willingly, I have a reward. But if against my will, a dispensation of the gospel is committed unto me.
Right. So he did it willingly, but he still had to do it. Shit, if the Spirit is on you, man, if the Spirit is on you, you're going to want to do the will of the Heavenly Father. All right? It's that simple, man.
Yep.
Yahweh Shai prayed to get that cup taken away from him, but he still said, I laid down my life to do it. You know? So if the Spirit is on you, man, you're going to want to do the will of the Heavenly Father. Even the things that's commanded, you're going to desire to do them willingly. That don't mean, well, it ain't no commandment to go teach now. The fuck?
Before you can hit that Matthew, would you finish what you had? Before you hit the Matthew, I want to read this real fast. This is 1 Samuel 10 and 5. It says, after that thou shalt come to the hill of Yahweh, where is the garrison of the Philistines, and it shall come to pass when thou art come thither to the city, that thou shalt meet a company of prophets coming down from the high place with a psaltery and a tabret and a pipe and a harp before them, and they shall prophesy. You know, and those singing singing instruments, you know, those musical instruments were symbolic. Symbolic of what? Can you hit that, brother?
This is Matthew 11 and 16. But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows, and saying, we have piped unto you, and ye have not danced.
We have piped unto you, and ye have not danced, man. So that's the psaltery, the psaltery, the harp, and the pipe, the flute that's going before us, man. It's talking about this lovely song that we sing. And this is Ezekiel 33 and verse 30. It says, also thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that cometh forth from Yahweh. How did they come and find out the word if Ezekiel went out there on the street? You know? It says, and they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness. And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice, and can play well on an instrument. For they hear thy words and they do them not. So the prophets that were going before us, man, is the psaltery, the harp, and the pipe, man. It's talking about this wisdom that we're singing, man. You know? It says that the prophets shall lift up the voice together, meaning they singing in harmony. They see eye to eye. It says that no man can learn this song except 144,000. This is the new song that we singing, man. The song of the Moses, the song of the Lamb. This is this knowledge, man. So we piping, we singing unto you, but ye have not danced. Go ahead, brother.
It says, in saying we have piped unto you, and ye have not danced, we have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented.
Mm-hmm.
For John came neither eating nor drinking. They say ye have a devil. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, behold, a man gluttonous, a winebibber, a friend of publicans and sinners, but wisdom is justified of her children.
Right, and that's pretty much the point, man. Because it don't matter what you, as much as you strive to be righteous and wake up your people, man, there's always gonna be some hoe ass niggas who gonna preach something contrary to what you're preaching just for contention's sake, man. You know. Just like the dumbass nigga woman, man, you know, that'll argue with you. She knows she wrong, but she'll keep the argument up because she don't want to be wrong, man.
She don't want to look like an idiot.
And that's these niggards, man. That's these niggards, man. You know. We got any more scriptures? Go ahead, bro.
This is Matthew chapter 22, verse 2. It says, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son, and sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding. And they would not come. Again, he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. But they made light of it, and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And the remnant took his servants, and entreated them spitefully, and slew them. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies, and destroyed those murderers, and burned up their city. Then saith he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Go ye therefore unto the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. And that was a commandment from Yahushua to go and preach the word, and find those that was actually seeking this word, man. That was actually seeking to live by the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Just like where it says in what was that, Ezekiel 6:4, set a mark upon the foreheads of them that sign Christ.
9:4.
Those same people that are being bid to the marriage are those that are signing Christ, man.
I got a pre-show real quick. This is Isaiah 30:20. It says, and though the Most High give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore. But thine eyes shall see thy teachers, man. How you gonna see your teachers, man, when you got a one-way camera on your goddamn computer, man? You know? I mean, it's pertinent that we go out there and teach his word, man.
Okay. Teaching will be back in the corner, man. We're gonna be out there before the people.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. I got one. Okay. It's 2 Kings 17. Cause you read 1 Samuel 9, right? Saul went up to the prophets?
I read 10 chapter.
Alright, well, I just read the 2 Kings 17. Yet Yahweh testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, turn ye from your evil ways, and keep my commandments and my statutes according to all the law, which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servants the prophets. So how you commanded Israel to repent? How you commanded Israel to let go of their wickedness, man? Alright, how you let them know their sins and to let them know that we are the Israelites, man? You gotta reach these people, man. Everybody don't even go on YouTube, man.
What?
Then what about the old people, man? They don't get on that shit. Alright? And hell, there's a lot of young Jake that don't deal with the technology like that, man. You'll be fucking surprised. It's Isaiah 58:1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. That ain't something you do inside your crib, man. This ain't talking about the church. You got to be out there before the people, man. To let them know that our Lord Yahweh Shai is on his way back. To let them know to repent. All right? To let them know that don't trust this so-called white man. He's your enemy. He's going down. His kingdom is through. You got to get out there and be amongst the people, man. How would you even contend? How would you contend for the faith?
That's a good question. That's a real good
That
question.
was the whole ask. He said he disputed daily with them in the marketplace. So that's when we go out there to the glory. So we're not finna come to your fucking debates, man. You fucking assholes, man. You guys keep commenting out there in videos. Y'all know where the hell we at. If you want to do it that goddamn bad, come to the glory. Fucking dickheads.
This is Psalms 119 and 46. So I will speak of thy testimonies also before kings and will not be ashamed, man. So we out in the highways and byways, man, amongst all the nations, all right, amongst fucking centurions and lawyers and congressmen and aldermen and fucking that faggot Reverend Flager came down there one day. You know, we in front of all multitudes and all sorts of people, man. Why? Because we're not ashamed to teach this gospel, man. We're not ashamed to be out there and get food thrown at us, guns pulled on us, all right? Mobs of people throwing footballs at us, all right? Those are the things that come with doing this work. But those are the things that come with teaching the word on the highways and the byways, man.
Shit, hey, we supposed to be setting that standard, man. You know? We supposed to be holding the standard up so all can see. What's the standard? These scriptures. How can you hold it up in the comfort of your house? You know? Isaiah 19 says there shall be an altar in the midst of Egypt, man. That altar, man, is us preaching, man, wherever we set up camp. You know? But that's all I had to represent there. So with that, man, hey, we hope it was edifying, you know. And until next time, you know, we give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And salutations to you brothers who preaching the gospel in truth and in sincerity, always in charity, who's rightly dividing the word of truth directly and correctly. You know, blessings, salutations to you brothers. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.